Have you ever made mistakes in your life? We all have, but did you learn from those mistakes? Hey everybody, my name is Anthonyjconklin. I'm a transformational and motivational keynote speaker. I spent 25 years in corporate America and 27 years in the entertainment space. I want to take a minute to thank all of you for joining me here today. To my friends on Periscope, thank you so much for joining here. If you're brand new to my Periscope, please press 1 in the chat box. I want to give you a big high five and a what's up, and thank you for spending some time with me here today. And to all my friends here on Facebook Live, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. So I'm a motivational, transformational keynote speaker. I help entrepreneurs connect their passion, purpose, and connect it with a bridge called why. We all make mistakes. I'm the first one to raise my hand and say I've made a lot of mistakes. But as the quote goes, make mistakes, learn from them, and move on. How many of you made massive mistakes in your life and you didn't learn from them? You repeated it over and over again. Press 1 in the chat box. And it's okay. I'm not judging you. No one's judging you here today. So if you've made mistakes and you've made them over and over again, press 1 in the chat box, because I want to talk to you, because I'm talking to you, which means I'm talking to me too, because I've done that. And thank you so much for pressing 1 over here at Periscope. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's tough. We're wired to do something because we want a particular result. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, sometimes making mistakes feels like insanity because you're doing the same thing and you're not making the changes that you need to make to get to where you want to be, because you need to get to a destination or an end goal. Well, here's what happens when you make mistakes. You make a mistake because you either didn't have the right strategy or you didn't execute it correctly. So having the right strategy is really doing the research and understanding what the end game is or what your goal is. Tony Robbins talks about define what you want. And then the what comes later. So define what you want. Once you define what you want, then you can back into how you're going to get it. So when you don't have a strategy, you're just going out there and you're just swinging in the wind, right? To my friends on Periscope, that's right. I definitely learned from those horrible mistakes I made, right? And I made some really massive mistakes. And I'm going to share those with you today. But again, my question is, have you made mistakes and you haven't learned from them? And the other question is, have you made mistakes and you've learned from it and made your life better? I made a really big mistake when I was in my 20s, and I'll tell you the story. I was 25 years old. I was newly married at the time. I had a young baby on the way, my oldest son, and I got into the technology business because that's what I thought I wanted to do. And the reason why I thought what I wanted to do was be in technology is because that's where the money was. And because I come from sort of a Wall Street background, I thought money was everything. Money was the end game. It would give me all the things I needed to be fulfilled and happy in my life. And what I realized 25 years later, the money does help, but it does not give you happiness. It does not give you fulfillment. What money did for me, it gave me freedom to think a little bit differently. But here's the thing. So here's the story, guys. I decided to stay in technology for a number of years. And as I got into the business, I made a lot of money, but I wasn't really happy. I really enjoyed my passion, which was being in the entertainment space as an MC and as a DJ. Here's the mistake I made. I focused more on my day job and doing something I really wasn't passionate about, and I didn't spend enough time on my true passion and my why and purpose, which was being an MC and talking to people on the microphone and helping them have a great time, which evolved into personal development. And what happened was I started to treat my DJ business as a hobby. And that's the worst thing you can do, is treat your passion as a hobby. Well, you can do it in the beginning, but you can't do it for too long, because what happens is you do it for too long, that passion is going to wane over time. And for those of you that are in your late 30s or getting into your 40s, you'll understand your passion starts to diminish when you don't really put yourself full on, 100% all in to your passion. So what happened was, over the years, and probably for the next 20 years or so, 25 years, I realized that I made a really big mistake in my life. And that mistake was I didn't put all of my energy and all of my desire and passion into being a full-time entertainer, because here's what my fear was. I couldn't make enough money to sustain the lifestyle that I wanted. I wouldn't have the friends that I had, because being an entertainer and an MC was seen as, well, you're a non-Wall Street guy, right? I got the big X. You're a non-Wall Street guy, and you're one of those people. So I made a mistake and I spent a lot of time just doing my day job because it made money and it supported my family, and I'm so blessed that I did that. The big mistake was I didn't shift my entertainment business until it was much, much later in life. It wasn't until my middle 40s, my late 40s, that I really started to shift it into a full-time business. And now that I'm playing catch up, I feel like if I would have done this 25, 26, 27 years ago, I might be in a much better position financially. I would be much more fulfilled and much happier. But here's the thing. You don't want to spend too much time thinking about the mistakes you made. You want to ask yourself this question: what did I learn from that mistake? What was the one thing that I can take away from knowing that if I have to do it all over again, would I make that mistake again? So let me ask you a question. Have you ever made a mistake and have you learned from it? Type 1 in the chat box if you've made a massive error in your life, or you made mistakes and you learn from it. I'd love to hear what your story is. Mine was, what I learned from it was, go with your gut. Your gut is always right. And when you go massively all in. I don't care what motivational speaker, what sales trainer, what talking head, no disrespect, all of the people that are out there, I don't care what they say. They're all saying the same thing, but in their own way. Go all in. You have to literally dive right into the deep end of the pool. And here's the thing that I've learned about diving into the deep end of the pool, is that once you get in, you're going to be okay. As my mom always said, rest in peace, Anthony, don't worry, everything is going to be okay. So I'm telling you, all of you that are watching this live stream today, is you have to go all in on your passion, because that is what you're eventually going to wind up doing. Hello to Italy. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate you being here. And for all of you here on Facebook Live, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. And for some of you that are not interacting or not putting any comments in the comment box, I love you guys too. I know you're not big, you're not big interactive people, but that's okay. I love you anyway. I'm really happy that you're here. So think about the next thing that you want to do with your life. Think about what's really important for you. Think about what your calling is, what you're pulled to do, not what you're pushed to do. Think about what pulls you to do something naturally, that you're just really good at it and it feels awesome when you do it. That's called your passion. Act on that passion. Surround yourself with really good people, really smart people that lift you up. Because those are the ones that if you make mistakes, you can go to them and say, hey, listen, I made this mistake. Is there something I can do differently, or something you could recommend that I do differently that will make me not make that mistake again? I talk about the power of 5. It's important. Surround yourself with 5 really strong, powerful, inspiring, motivating people that want you to basically blow up and become the best version of you that you could be. Because you can't be good for anybody else if you're not good for you. So remember, the next time that you do something, go back and look and see what the things you did that might have gotten you off track and caused you to make a mistake, and check those things off. And if there are things that you can't check off, go reach out to someone who's already done it. Because you have the ability to do anything. You have the capability of doing anything you want in your life. Believe me, if I can do it at 50 years old, okay, if I can do what I'm doing at 50 years old, being here on video, talking to you, telling you about my life challenges and what I've learned, you can do it. I don't care if you're 25, 35, 45, 65, 70, 15 years old. You have the ability and you have what it takes to be the best version of you can be. And remember, you're going to make mistakes along the way. And once you make those mistakes, you learn from them. But mistakes means progress. You're moving forward. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I really appreciate all of you today. To all my friends on Periscope, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Again, for those of you that are brand new to my live stream, I do a daily stream talking about motivation, inspiration, and making you the best version of you. My name is Anthonyjconklin. I am a motivational and transformational keynote speaker. I spent 25 years in corporate America and 27 years in the entertainment space. My goal is to change one life every single day for the rest of my life. I don't know how much time God's going to give me on this planet, but for the days that I'm here and the time that I'm here, I want to do everything possible to make changes in my life, and so I can make changes in yours so you can be the best version of you and you can pay it forward. I'd love the opportunity to come speak to your organization. If you're in sales, I'd love to talk to your head of sales, your VP of sales, or if you work in an association, I'd love to talk to entrepreneurs and like-minded individuals about being the best version that you can be. So thank you so very, very much for being here. I appreciate it. You can find me at anthonyjconklin.com. I'm everywhere at anthonyjconklin on Twitter, on Periscope, and also on Blab. Reach out. Leave me a message. And share this with people who you think need it. Share it with those who have made mistakes and need to learn from those mistakes. And remember, before you get up in the morning and before you go to bed at night, I want you to look in that mirror, and in the famous words of Les Brown, look in that mirror and say these words. You have greatness within you. You have something really, really special to give. And do it every single day, because that's why you're here. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I love you very much, and I'll see you next time.